Right now, new details about the deadly crash yesterday morning that claimed the life of a local beloved educator.
Plus, a third person enters the race for Madison mayor as the deadline passes to file candidacy paperwork. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. And thanks for joining us tonight. We are continuing to follow the latest developments surrounding the death of Principal Beth Steffen, killed yesterday in an early morning crash in Fitchburg. She was the principal at Badger Ridge Middle School in the Verona School District and previously had worked at Edgewood High School, La Follette, and also Beloit Memorial High School. In an updated statement today, Verona superintendent says, quote, "Our hearts continue to go out to Beth Steffen's family and the Verona area school district community. She was truly an amazing human, an educator, and a force for peace, love, and positivity. We are thankful that she chose to share her amazing talents with the world as an educator."
This is Cyene Road in Fitchburg. This is where Steffen was killed in a deadly crash yesterday morning. Today, neighbors near the road say they've had long-time concerns about the busy road. Our Catherine Merck shares more about its safety problems and how the city plans to step in.
People call it Cyene Speedway for a reason, because it's just very quick.
Andrew Bruner lives down the road from the site of the crash that killed Badger Ridge Middle School principal Beth Steffen on Tuesday.
I hear people every day beeping right at this spot because they don't want to wait for people to turn.
Andrew says there are multiple aspects of Cyene Road that make it difficult for pedestrians to cross it.
As it is right now, a lot of people that live in the area still treat it as kind of a rural highway road and move very quickly.
He says since 2020, he's been part of a city committee to make this area safer, talking about a roundabout, possible stop signs, and more.
You know, I mentioned during one of those meetings, if nothing's done, someone's going to be killed. Unfortunately, that turned out to be the case.
Those meetings resulted in plans, but not much change.
The project got to be more and more expensive.
William Balke with the city of Fitchburg says multiple factors have caused the Cyene Road project to be delayed.
We've got a historic property. We had needs of parking. We had environmental constraints, and trying to come up with a section through there that would meet the needs of safety, speed reduction, and connectivity has been kind of ongoing.
I don't think it's a situation of people neglecting. I think it's just, things that everyone deals with budgets and time constraints.
It's Andrew's hope that what happened to this beloved teacher speeds up the process of fixing the problem and gets people to slow down on Cyene.
I'm really sad that had to happen, and I just hope that we don't have to see something else happen for some real action to take place.
Reporting in Fitchburg, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
The city of Fitchburg did receive federal funding for the next portion of the Cyene Road reconstruction, with work to begin in 2024. And last night, we also spoke with people who were close with Miss Steffen. To read up on that and our continuing coverage, just head to channel3000.com.
Well, let's get a look at our certified most accurate forecast now. Here's meteorologist Greg Barnhart. Greg?
Yeah, we still got some snow out there falling right now, a little bit of light accumulation, even a little bit of maybe a freezing drizzle mixed in there too. So not a lot, but something to keep in mind of. Right now we're 37, right now 37 for a high, 32 is what we're for a low. Obviously that is still warmer than what we should be for January. We're going to see the temperatures slowly come back to freezing or just below with the light rain, or excuse me, the wintry mix, then more just light snow overnight. So minor accumulation, but once again with those roads, it could be an issue. Overall, it's all related to that low that continues to spin just to our northwest. It's going to begin to move here slowly, but most of the heavier snow is to the west and to the north. But we are starting to see some of that expand as the colder air arrives here this evening and overnight. So once again, we'll see a light accumulation out to the west. There's that monster storm you probably heard about that's going to be impacting California here tonight and tomorrow. Overall temperatures right now around the freezing for most of the locations. A little warmer as you go towards like Janesville is 34. Overall, Dane County, we're sitting at 31, 32. So once again, any moisture is on the roads, especially the ones that are not used that often, could have a few slick spots through this evening. Closer up, you see that rotation around the lows. We zoom in, there's some light bands of very just light snow flurries, even a little mix in there too, especially north of Madison. More toward the south, it's where it's warmer in Janesville. We've had some light mist. Overall visibility is not that bad, 2.5 miles at Dane County, but overall we're seeing a lot of things that are not too bad. So overall, the big picture tonight is that snow that we're going to be dealing with. I'll time out exactly how much we'll get through tomorrow and when we'll finally see that sun come Friday a little bit later in the broadcast.
Greg, thank you. Next at 6, a third challenger has emerged in the Madison mayoral race, which now includes incumbent Satya Rhodes-Conway, former school board president Gloria Reyes, and most recently longtime city employee Scott Kerr. Yesterday was the deadline to file paperwork for spring election candidates, so we're getting a better idea of who will be included.
Our Andrew Banstra has everything you need to know about the 2023 Wisconsin spring elections.
Madisonians will have their pick of 3 candidates for mayor come April. The incumbent Satya Rhodes-Conway will run against Gloria Reyes and Scott Kerr. As Rhodes-Conway seeks her second term in the capital city, Gloria Reyes is the former deputy mayor and is running as the first Latinx candidate for mayor in Madison. She's a Madison native that graduated from UW, running on her career in law enforcement and public service. Scott Kerr has been a city employee for 42 years that's running on fiscal responsibility. Now is your time to set up a plan for voting for one of them.
It's a perfect time to register. It's always a perfect time to register to vote. And right now we're in open period, so you can register by mail, by through the MyVote website. You can come down to the clerk's office.
There will be a primary election on February 4th that'll include the mayor's race and 9 of the 20 Alder seats up for election, with the election day itself following on April 4th. Spring sneaks up on you fast, so the city clerk asks that you double check to make sure you're registered to vote and stop by their office with any questions. For a full list of candidates on the 2023 ballot, head to this web story on channel3000.com.
Andrew, thank you. Representative Alex Jors, a newly seated state representative, back at his alma mater today in Middleton. Representative Jors took a tour of Sauk Trail Elementary as a way to advocate for changes in state funding for public schools. Today is his first full day in office, and he says he would like to spend it in his community, meeting with students, teachers, staff, and district leaders. As one of his first official acts of his second term, Governor Tony Evers today met behind closed doors with the mayors of the state's 5 largest cities. They met for about an hour. The mayors of Milwaukee, Madison, Racine, Green Bay, and Kenosha all met privately with the governor. The mayors, like Governor Evers, are all Democrats. And on Capitol Hill, the House of Representatives has adjourned until 7 o'clock Central, as the new Republican majority has still been unable to decide who will serve as Speaker of the House. The impasse marks the first time in 100 years that the House was not able to pick a speaker in the first round. Representative Kevin McCarthy of California has failed to get enough votes 6 times in a row now.
Around the state, federal regulators have determined that a lack of safeguards during a maintenance shutdown led to a 2018 explosion at an oil refinery in Superior. The U.S. Chemical Safety Board released a final report last week. According to the CSB report, the refinery was shutting down a gasoline-making unit when the explosion occurred. Calgary-based Husky Energy owned the refinery at the time of the explosion. The blast injured 36 workers. Fears of an acid leak forced 2,500 residents to evacuate. Elsewhere in the state, the U.S. Coast Guard is monitoring a towing vessel that partially sank yesterday on a river in the port of Milwaukee. The boat, called the Michigan, began taking on water and had partially sunk in approximately 26 feet of water on the Kinnickinnic River, which flows into Lake Michigan. It's a 112-foot tug barge that can carry up to 40,000 gallons of oil and fuel. As of now, there is no evidence the boat is leaking any fuel.
Well, still ahead at 6, an update on the condition of Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin.
Plus, the story behind a national cardiac arrest program with roots right here in Wisconsin. Stay with us.
Get up to 80% off list prices during our huge inventory reduction sale at Slumberland Furniture. $20 million worth of furniture and mattresses must go. Lowest prices around on recliners, sofas, mattresses, and lots more. Slumberland Furniture.
Need to update your furniture? Menards has the furniture you need in stock. Plus, you get a free rug. That's right. Buy any upholstered living room furniture at $2.99 or more and get a free 5x7 area rug. That's $149.99 in savings. Need a new chair? How about a sectional, a new recliner, or love seat? Buy one today, get a free rug. Hurry up. Get to Menards before they're gone. In-store only while supplies last.
Save big money at Menards. The home Home Expo is coming to the Monona Terrace Convention Center this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Meet the Madison area's top builders, remodelers, and home improvement experts at the Home Expo. See the best in custom remodeling, room additions, roofing, and flooring at the Home Expo. Kitchens, bathrooms, windows, doors. If it can improve your home, you'll find it at the Home Expo. The Home Expo at the Monona Terrace Convention Center, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who'll keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543. Up to 80% off list prices during our huge inventory reduction sale at Slumberland Furniture. $20 million worth of merchandise must go. Lowest prices around on mattresses, rugs, bar stools, sectionals, accent chairs, and more at Slumberland Furniture.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Niagara Falls lit up in blue in support of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin after the 24-year-old collapsed during a game against the Cincinnati Bengals Monday night. Niagara Parks tweeted, quote, "Our collective thoughts are with him, his family, his team, and the city of Buffalo." Local media reported both the American Falls and Canadian Horseshoe Falls were lit up.
And an update on his condition now. He is still hospitalized and remains in the ICU in critical condition. Hamlin's family tells CBS News that he remains on a ventilator, but there's been some improvement. The rest of the Buffalo Bills team was also back on the field today, holding meetings and a walkthrough before their Week 18 game against the New England Patriots. Even with the immediate availability of medical care, Hamlin is still in critical condition after suffering cardiac arrest on the field.
Without that care, victims' chances of survival is greatly reduced. Uba Ali reports on one program that has been placing defibrillators in schools for 2 decades.
More than 2 decades ago, after the tragic death of 17-year-old Adam Lemmel, change continues across the country. The Whitefish Bay basketball player collapsed and died in 1999 from a cardiac arrest during a game.
From this came the idea of having schools prepared for cardiac emergencies.
Adam's father, in partnership with Children's Wisconsin, created Project Adam, which stands for Automated Defibrillators in Adam's Memory.
In an emergency situation, medical personnel say having an automated external defibrillator, also known as an AED, can save a life.
There have been over 200 lives saved through direct and I would say indirect actions from Project Adam.
Medical Director of Project Adam, Dr. Anup Singh, says the goal of the program is to get people prepared to respond. That includes looking for warning signs like fainting or dizziness with exercise, excessive fatigue and chest pain, or discomfort with exercise.
Recognizing those signs is step 1. Calling for emergency help is step 2. And then being a bystander who can intervene by doing CPR is a very important third step in this. And that's followed by having a defibrillator available.
In Wisconsin, more than 450 schools have gone through Project Adam training and become a heart-safe school. Nationwide, more than 4,000 schools are prepared to reduce the risk of sudden death. Dr. Singh says having all interventions in place can buy precious time.
Every minute without all those interventions decreases someone's chance of survival by 7%.
While so much has changed for the better since 1999, Dr. Singh says expanding to communities and sports clubs is the next step.
That was Uba Ali reporting. And for continuing coverage on Damar Hamlin's condition, be sure to stay with News 3 Now and channel3000.com. And there is more to come tonight at 6. The Mega Millions lottery nears $1 billion after no winner for last night's drawing. Plus, a new property development plan in Verona is getting some pushback.
And we'll check back in with Greg Barnhart as this wet and dreary weather sticks around for just a bit longer. Your full forecast is coming up.
Attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
This holiday season at the Century House, give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. The first Mega Millions drawing for 2023 is in the books and without a winner. Since no one collected last night's big prize, Friday's jackpot inches up to $940 million. Officials released a statement saying they've only had 3 bigger jackpots since the game's debut in 2022. The people and the city are at odds tonight over development plans along this border of the town and city of Verona.
And Tahlil Mohadeen spoke with members of the Verona Rural Preservation Alliance, and she joins us now to share why they say the city isn't making good use of the area's farmland. Tahlil?
Eric and Charlotte, group leaders say for years they've attended meetings, signed petitions, and written letters, but they still don't feel they're being heard. A place they call home in the town of Verona for decades, they now fear will become unrecognizable.
What we saw was a dense urban development that immediately abutted farmland.
That fear brought a group of neighbors together to create the Verona Rural Preservation. Their goal, to get the city of Verona to reconsider a development plan on their street near Highway PD that would change about 140 acres of farmland into roughly 400 single-family or twin homes.
I think we all ask ourselves, when does this neighborhood become unlivable?
Their biggest concern about the Ardent Glen project is what an influx of new residents so far from city center would mean for traffic, heating and cooling, and water supply.
It's going to bake in the summer, it's going to freeze in the winter, and these people will be isolated in this warren of tiny little lots in the middle of nowhere.
Calling it a high-density neighborhood.
I would strongly disagree with that.
Verona Mayor Luke Diaz says because they're not building condos or apartments, he's not concerned about density.
I mean, it is more dense than town development, but like we're a city. We're not going to put, one house on 5 acres and, see developers charge $1 million. That's not an efficient or good use of land, and it's not a way to extend opportunity.
Diaz sees the new development as an opportunity in a place that's growing.
People want to live here.
And he says the Marty Farm, with existing roads and utilities already in place, is a good place to start building for a bigger future, even if it's right at the border.
Ultimately, we're doing our own thing, and we've been very successful so far, in my opinion.
City leaders say they expect to further develop the area to better meet the needs of new residents, but admit other existing landowners would first need to get on board. As far as the Ardent Glen project, they don't yet have a date to start building, but as long as developers' plans remain steady, they'll keep moving forward.
Tahlil, thank you. Let's go to meteorologist Greg Barnhart now with your certified most accurate forecasts. Greg?
Yeah, we've talked about, you probably heard the news about that storm out to the west right now. Give you an idea how much it's wrapped up right there. It's pretty impressive what it is right now. A full huge cyclone that's actually going to impact them. On our neck of the woods, you can still see the remnants of it. This is kind of going through a couple days, too, how the system developed, deepened, and now it's just sitting there spinning for a while, as you can see, just as it lifts further north, too. So that's the one we're dealing with. You may ask if we're going to be dealing with this. Well, we might, but it won't be much in the way of a storm once it gets through the Rockies, too. Right now, it's impressive. By the time it gets to us, there won't be much left of it, unfortunately. Overall, the snow really has tapered off. So only winter weather advisories are up to the north of Minnesota right now. Snow's starting to taper off with this low, which is the good news for everyone. But overall, we still got that mix, a little bit of drizzle, a little bit of stuff going on this evening. I think eventually in a couple hours, everyone will be changing over to some light snow or flurries. Once again, we could pick up maybe about an inch overnight. Slick roads, once again, temperatures near freezing, so something to keep in mind of through tomorrow evening likely, and then maybe another chance for a little bit of snow come Saturday night. As you see, most of the snow is up to the north, but we're still under the influence of it. We're going to start pulling that cold air further north. You can see a few showers. Flurries overnight, that's really going to be the main type. Most of the more heavier snow to the north. By the time you go through tomorrow afternoon, we'll start seeing some of that rotate through, so maybe another band of light snow or showers afternoon through evening hour. I think once you get through the evening commute, you should be good to go for Thursday night. And then the good news, like I said, by Friday, the whole thing lifts to the north, and then we got more sun starting to peek out by the time we get especially to Friday afternoon, and then probably clear skies as we get to Friday night. For tonight, like I said, we're going to stay around that 31, 32 degrees. Once again, we could see a little bit of the drizzle mixed in early, maybe even freezing drizzle, but overall we'll just see that light snow continue overnight, flurry activity through the mornings, and then once we get through tomorrow morning into the afternoon, I think we'll see it finally rotate through, that we might see a little bit of more of a band come through tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening. Once again, temperatures 32, 33. Won't be a high snow rate with any of this, so maybe a little bit of accumulation tomorrow, but overall I don't think we'll see too much on the way of snow. Here's the amounts, maybe about an inch. Mainly grassy surfaces will get to it. Up to the north, maybe 1 to 2 as you get closer to Black River Falls, and then a little bit further north too. But I think most areas we'll see enough to cover the grass, but other than that, I don't think we'll see much more than that. We do have a little bit of system coming through that Saturday, Sunday. That's going to come up to the north. Once you see that, it's not amounting to too much, and right now, the heaviest best shot for snow is probably going to be just south of us, but that's going to come through probably southern Wisconsin. Saturday night into Sunday morning, we could get a little bit of light snow with that action, but once again, not a lot of snow to speak of. Most of the weekend will stay dry and fairly pleasant. Overall, you see the temperatures. We don't see much of the cold air, even behind this system. This pattern continues with our mild temperatures, really. As we get through Sunday, next week looks still mild, mid to upper 30s, maybe even warmer than that. And then towards the end of the week, we got another system that could approach. That could be a little bit of rain or snow, but the good news, like I said, mid-January, we're still dealing with above average temperatures for right now.
And coming up in sports, just call him clutch. Verona's Trey Poteet breaks down the art of beating the buzzer. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
There's nothing like volunteering at the fire department.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't always been easy.
Since my skin was so irritated and itchy.
And even worse with all my gear on.
Now, I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema. So adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
Cold winter weather's here, so why feel it inside your own home and in your wallet? USA Insulation's premium injection foam fills every crevice of your walls, even going over your existing inferior insulation. Our foam gives you high-tech comfort and saves you money on utility bills year-round. So stop bundling up and start building savings. Call now and get up to a 30% tax credit and low monthly payments.
USA Insulation.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified, most accurate team, First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now.
The chances of someone hitting one buzzer beater, let alone two, probably like 1 in a million, right? But doing it in back-to-back games, come on, that never happens. Well, unless you're Trey Poteet. Jordan Reed has more with Verona's Captain Clutch.
When you look up the word clutch, you'll definitely see Verona's Trey Poteet. Why is that? Well, the Wildcats have won their last 2 games on buzzer beaters, both shot by the sophomore.
Most people or players never get one buzzer beater in their career, let alone back-to-back buzzer beaters, right? So
the first came against Brookfield East.
There was a tie game with about 1.6 left on the clock. You know, we call it timeout. It's our ball. No matter what, we knew we were going to go to overtime. I just remember being in the huddle, and you know, we're kind of talking about what play we want to run, and Trey was like, "Coach, I got it."
It was supposed to be a lob on the baseline, but my teammate and I, we didn't like that. So we threw it to the elbow, and after that, I looked up at the clock, and I didn't expect there to be that much time, and I shot it, and I was so happy.
And not only did that bucket move Verona back into the win column, it left a lasting impression.
Again, he's a sophomore, you know, and so for him to step up and say, like, hey, I want it without any questions, to me that says a lot about, you know, who he is as a competitor and things of that nature. And so the coaching staff and I, we talked about that, like, man, he was deadlocked, like, Coach, I got this.
Of course, so nice, he did it twice. A week later in overtime with Janesville Craig.
5 seconds left on the clock. My teammate shot it, and I was like thinking, like, I have to get it now.
Just his mentality of like, I got time, and he tipped it in, and it went down for us. Again, one of our things is it's never over, you know, mentality. And
something that is clearly working for this squad.
Sets us up in a good position because knowing that we got that fight, even if we're down and not in a spot to win, we can always come back and re-huddle and just dominate.
As they rock a 5-2 record with plenty of season left. In Verona, Jordan Reed, News 3 Sports.
Now, if he goes 3 for 3, he better have someone buy him a lottery ticket. Because he's not old enough. He's not old enough yet.
He can play. He's going to have some football, basketball debates going on in that household. Let's go to Greg for a final check.
Well, we got that snow out there right now. If you're out there and about, most of that band is shifting to the north, but still overnight flurries. Like I said, some slick spots to speak of. Visibility okay, but if you go further north, there is some reduction. And just again, there's that snow. It's not depicted a lot of the flurries going on, but something to keep in mind as you go overnight.
All right, Greg, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.